Welcome to this week's Travel Chat, where we're talking all about the Universal Orlando Resort. Universal has been reopened since June 3rd, and it's been amazing to see how well Universal has handled the COVID situation. I spoke with one of our travel planners, Lisa, who vacationed at Universal about 3 weeks ago with her family. Lisa has a larger family whose kids range from age 2 up into their mid-20s. Lisa stayed at Royal Pacific Resort, which is one of the resorts that utilizes the water taxi system. One thing that she was telling me was that the staff made sure everyone kept a safe distance while waiting for the taxis, but they also have a set number that they allow on each vessel. They would then seat you, and in every other sort of way, so no family is sitting next to or across from another family. Lisa also told me that housekeeping no longer automatically comes to your room. You would need to call if you wanted your room serviced, and then there's a process for that. For simple items such as towels, linens, and soaps, you can just call housekeeping, and they'll bring your items in a large bag and set it outside your door. Laura and I also had the opportunity to talk with another one of our travel planners, Suzanne, who just returned from a trip to Universal last week. She was there with her daughter. Let's check out what she has to say. Talk to me about the hotel, because I know you stayed at one of the on-site hotels, and talk a little bit about the differences maybe that were very obvious, and anything to do with health and safety, so their cleaning measures, just anything that jumped out at you as oh, this is clearly something they're doing because of COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. So we stayed at Ventura, which was absolutely beautiful. We walked into the front doors, and there was a security guard there, and your temperature was taken right off the bat.
Okay.
So took our temperature. Then what they do is they wristband you. So each day it's a different color wristband, meaning that you were already temperature checked. So when you're going in and out of the park, you don't have to go to their temperature checks before you go into Universal or Islands of Adventure.
Nice. Oh, nice. Okay. So one temperature check a day, not every time you go to a park or hop around.
Yes, and they're doing that on the on-site or your Universal-owned hotels. So it makes it really nice that you can just bypass that line once you get into like City Walk area before you go, into the park. You just have to go like this, and they say, okay, you go this way, and anybody that didn't have a wristband, then they have to go this way to go get temperature checked.
Oh, okay.
So that was really good, and a nice benefit to staying at one of the hotels on property is that you don't have to go stand in that longer line. Once you got into City Walk, you just bypass those people because you're all good to go. So that's the first thing that Madison and I actually did every morning, was go to the security guard for our temperature check to get our new colored wristband. So super easy process. Everything smelled wonderful, very clean. One thing that I really, really want to point out is the elevators. So the resorts on Universal right now are not stopping. Only one family per elevator at a time.
Wow.
So yes, really nice. And so we were on the 14th floor. So we were always just up to the 14th floor and down to the first floor.
Okay.
How was the wait on that? Did you have to wait longer, or it went pretty fast?
We did not, because at Ventura there's 6 elevators. They've got a lot of elevators there. So no, we didn't. We never had to actually wait very long, and elevators were just right there and stuff. Another thing is the face mask. So I mean, literally, that face mask must be on when you walk in the doors. Well, really anywhere on Universal property, unless you're really in a swimming pool or in your room, for the most part. I mean, you are masked, and they're really, really on that. And so if you had a mask hanging or on one ear, they would tell you. But honestly, we hardly ever seen anybody being told that. Everybody was just doing the right thing, doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're on vacation. This is the way it is. You do it, and it was fine. It was more than fine.
Now, one question I have about that, Jenny, in a second, is I noticed that, for people going to Universal and Disney, is Universal allowing the neck scarf mask and the Gators, or are they doing the same thing that Disney's doing, where it has to go around the ear?
They, as of when I was there, last week, people were wearing the Gators. Some people had the ears with the Gators, some people didn't. So I believe Universal, I don't know if they'll end up changing that, but as of when we were there, Gators were allowed.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, those are really comfortable. I know a lot of people like those. So.
And they're the cool ones, right? That Cassandra was saying sons really like. So yeah, I was disappointed to see that Disney took those away. Yeah. One thing about the masks, and I think this is important to know, is so we interviewed another agent, another travel planner who was down a few weeks before you, and she was saying that when they took character pictures or pictures in front of the characters, they were allowing them to take the masks off. But I believe you said they were not when you were there. More so,
that is
they
correct.
are evolving. We have to remember that the rules are going to kind of do this until they settle on something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you were not allowed to remove your mask even though you were more than socially distanced from the characters up on a stage or behind something. You still were not allowed to remove a mask at all. So at all times, a mask was worn. Anytime you were on Universal property, hotels, City Walk, the parks, you were masked at all times.
I'm really curious to hear about the pools, the pool, because that's a lot of folks are worried about that. Can you talk about, were they managing capacity somehow at the pools, how they're social distancing? Do you have to wear a mask when you're sitting in a lounge chair, or just kind of give us a snapshot of what the pool experience looked like?
Sure. When we went to the pool, there weren't a lot of people at the pool. So we felt very safe to be able to, okay, let's go over here. And, and there wasn't people around us. So yeah, we felt super, super safe even in that area. When you're sitting in your chair sunning, you don't have to have your mask on. But my daughter and I, like if we got up to, go get more towels or something, just because you are walking past people, we just respectfully put our masks on for that. If you're in the water, no mask. Sitting in your chair, no mask. Yeah, but it was fine. We didn't have a problem with space or being in a pool. I mean, and you could see people were socially distancing from others. You could feel it and see it, which is great. You know what I mean? So that was wonderful. And one other thing I want to say about the pool areas that we were super, super impressed at is there was a family of 5 that were there when we got there. They had decided, it was dinner time and they got up and left. And one of the lifeguards, they have 2 lifeguards at Aventura at all times. And then they have one that basically gets a break and then does cleaning. When those 5 got up, they were instantly gloved, and they had their towel or rag or whatever and disinfectant spray, and they went over and disinfected and sprayed all 5 of those lounge chair area. I was like, wow, that was awesome. I loved seeing that. I mean, the measures that Universal has taken during this time, I am just beyond impressed, and we felt so safe and so clean at all times. It was perfect.
That's awesome. I was really impressed. You were, sending me pictures all week while you were down there. And
yeah,
the one that stuck out to me was the guy cleaning the top of the escalator, how he was just standing there. I mean, that was impressive to see that was his job for the moment, was to just be cleaning the escalators.
And they did it, the Volcano Bay ones. I mean, there was always somebody there at the escalators spraying, and then the towel would just stay there, and then they would flip it and do whatever they needed to do, but it was constantly sprayed and cleaning. City Walk was doing the same thing. I mean, just amazing with the cleanliness of stuff. And, some of the people, we would go in and then we'd come back out and be the same people, but in a different section of the escalator doing it. It's like, that's their job. That's what they were doing. They were making me feel safe, by doing all of that cleaning, and just seeing somebody like that. It's like, that's awesome.
How about, see, and I know it is different because crowds are lower anyways, but, you didn't have an express pass, I'm guessing, because you were at Aventura. Am I right?
That is right. That is right. We stayed at Ventura. But honestly, we didn't need the express pass. You know what I mean? Like on a normal basis, normal attendance, if we weren't, going through this pandemic, the express pass is the only way to go. Like you have to have an express pass, if you're asking me. But we just didn't feel that we needed it, and we're glad that we didn't purchase it, because the attendance is a lot lower. We were on and off. I think the longest we waited for anything was for Hogwarts Express, and it might have been 15, 20 minutes one time.
That's nothing.
But other than that, we were literally like on and off, everything. It was fabulous. So,
you were there mostly during the middle of the week, or during the week.
Yes.
So I would imagine on the weekends you have some pass holders and some locals
Sure.
that come, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
At this time, normally it's so busy and you have to have that express pass.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it would
exactly.
Peak summer season, it would be wall to wall.
Did
absolutely.
you see people using the express line, like from the other hotels?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But sometimes I was, there's a couple times that I actually beat them on a ride, or we met at the same point and went on the ride together. So yeah, so we did see, some have that and stuff. Not a lot, but we did see. And I think maybe some people so they didn't have to go get their card out to show them. They're like, there's no wait, so let's just do this line, the regular line, So
right.
Yeah, it was nice.
How about the rides? How are they keeping the attractions sanitary and clean? And how are they managing that?
I'm telling you guys how impressed we were. I'm serious. Like Universal is awesome. Before any ride, going through the queues, you see your marks. You know what I mean? Here's this mark. It says, please stand here. Please stand here. And as the people in front of you are moving, then you're moving to that. And I'm telling you, everybody was so respectful of your space. It just wasn't even funny. It was just like everybody just did what they were supposed to do. We were a little apprehensive. Before coming. Like, are people going to be like awful on us? And like, no, nothing like that. So the social distance lines everywhere and the queues are amazing. So then once you got up to the attraction, every single attraction at Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, they never miss a hand sanitizer squirt in our hands ever. So right before you get on the ride, that's what they're doing. They're hand sanitizing you, and then you get on the ride. Another really neat thing that they're doing is if you are in a ride vehicle, let's say there's 4 rows in this ride vehicle. Maybe Madison and I were in the first row. Somebody would be either in the 3rd row or the 4th row. We didn't have anybody just right behind us, other than one attraction, which was Hagrid's. But you are totally socially spaced with those how the cars are.
Right.
So they weren't packing people into these vehicles. And the same thing with when you're standing in line for the queues. I mean, we're in row 1. You're socially distanced, the other people are in row 3 or 4, and then we all get on I mean, it was fabulous. And then after each attraction, this is your choice, but there is a hand sanitizer pump on the wall after every single attraction, so we always did that as well. So we sanitized before, we went on the ride, we sanitized after. It was fabulous. Felt very clean, safe.
Did your mask stay on? Was it too fast?
The only ride that my mask kept on falling down on is Rip Ride Rocket. I don't know, but it kept on falling down. So when we watched the video afterwards, it was so funny because all I'm doing is trying to get my mask back up, and then I'm thinking, well, we're on this ride, there's nobody in front of me. But I think I was just so used to having the mask on and wearing it that I'm like, I have to have my mask up. But yeah. But other than that, no.
How about the shows? Because you sent me some pictures and it looked really spaced out.
Yes. That was another thing too for your shows. I mean, every single show that we went to, it just depends. So if we were in indoor, they always put 6 seats between the family in front of us to my daughter and I. So you were always space, and then there was never anybody in the row in front of you, and there was never anybody in the row behind you, ever.
Okay.
No. In all of the indoor theaters is what we also noticed is when we were leaving, and a lot of times they would dismiss by row because they don't want everybody to go at the same time to go to the exit. So they dismissed always by row, and then you had your lovely employees squirting the sanitizer on the seats and wiping them. I'm like, it was great. I mean, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I heard that they're sanitizing. No, they are cleaning, they are sanitizing, they are protecting us. They are doing an amazing job.
The locker situations at the big rides where you're not allowed to bring your belongings with you and you have to utilize those lockers. I feel like I said, even on a good day, it's crazy in there. It's always kind of blustery. So what was your experience with that? Did you notice any difference? Were they doing anything differently?
They are. There is an employee right there. So they've done different queues for the lockers. Again, you're socially distanced in that line to get in. They would only allow a certain amount of people in the locker area, and you were never right next to the other person. Like it was amazing how they even socially distanced in the locker area. So, and you're not, other than, if you're just flashing your ticket underneath the screen and then a door pops open, you're literally pushing that in there, closing it, and then you're going to go get hand sanitized anyway before you go on the ride. So no, they did all the social distancing in the locker area. They had different queues to get in. So it took a little extra time, but not that big of a deal for what they did to, again, protect us and make us socially distanced from the other people. So it was fabulous.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you
Sure.
think somebody going on a maybe a shorter visit or 1 or 2 days would still be able to experience the majority of the parks with a park-to-park ticket, even though you have to go through all those queues and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a 3-day park-to-park ticket, and honestly, we did a Volcano Bay for about 3.5 hours on a Wednesday, and then went to the park the rest of the day. But our first day, we tackled so much that honestly, because of the attendance, we did so much those first 2 days that the third day was like, okay, what was your favorite? What do you want to go ride again? Type of thing. Not like, oh, we missed this, we missed that. We just did it. It was wonderful. I mean, it was nice to have that third day, as a cushion and still go to the park. But we really, if we had only got a 2-day ticket, we would have been like extremely happy with what we did do and get done at Universal. So yeah.
Yeah, but the nice thing about Universal is there's so much to do there that, even going to City Walk, it sounds like it made it for a little bit more relaxing week and not like this rush, park type of thing. So really a family could still, even this fall, have a nice little getaway for 3 or 4 days, 5 days. Yeah, that would be good.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely.
What do you think, Jenny? Think we should go to Universal? I'm ready to go to
Universal.
Yeah, I know. I have some people traveling very soon down and doing a Disney Universal trip, both of them. So I'm excited about them being able to have that opportunity. I can't wait to hear, feedback from Disney because they're just opening this week. And, we have some updates today and whatnot, but I've read a few blogs and some people that have gone to Universal and then went over to Disney. There's some differences there. So it'd be interesting to see what those are. It's a much larger location, a lot more people to handle and that type of thing. So
so I'm just curious, with Volcano Bay being a water park versus a theme park, did you notice anything different, anything that stood out? You're walking around in a bathing suit and how did you feel about the cleanliness there?
So of course, when you're walking in, you've got the employee sanitizing the escalator there, so you're already welcoming with some, cleanliness and stuff there. Went through the queues or went through, the front there and stuff. And then of course everybody just kind of spreads out. And in there as well for the lines, to get in for your tickets and stuff. Again, you were socially distanced there. Walking around at the water park, a mask is not mandatory because, well, it's a water park and things gets wet. But we just kind of kept ourselves, you know, just distance. We did our own thing with that. So it really was not that bad at all. For all of like the tube slides and everything that we went on, again, on the steps, like everything is like stand here, then, you know, and next people move, you go up. So that was really good. The Krakatoa, the water coaster, well, first let me say, like, amazing. Like, I've never, like, our Kalahari water coaster is like, like, I don't even know, just like a baby ride compared to this one. This was so fun that we did it 5 times. Really? And we were there for three and a half hours. So much fun. But so before you get on Krakatoa, because you're actually going to go in and you're going to hold on to straps. So even though like you're wet or whatever, but they're still sanitizing your hands before you get on that water coaster. So, you know, that, you know, kind of makes sense as you are holding on to something. So they did that. Everybody, we actually put our belongings at the wave pool, right, you know, at the volcano. And everybody would, you know, they would come and they would like look around and see who's around them or where people's stuff are. And then people just did their own social distancing there, which was really, really nice. So we felt great. We felt super clean there, even though people weren't wearing masks when we were walking. But again, everybody was just respectful to other people. I mean, it was just like, this is just what we do now, you know, and it was fabulous. I mean, I can't say enough about it. Like,
how about with children and you know, age group of children? Did you see a lot of families there? Were there a lot of like adults with older children, or what?
Yeah, you know what? All ages, babies up to you know, an elderly couple, you know, that we were talking to at one point. So yeah, it's for everybody. There's so much to do for everybody there. Yeah, fabulous water park. #1 water park in Orlando, really? In my book. That's what I'm gonna say.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool water park.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Well, I think it was a great opportunity to have you be down there and tell us firsthand your experience. As you know, Jenny was saying earlier, sometimes, you know, things will change a little bit and sometimes people's experiences are different, but it's really good to hear a little bit from different perspectives and to know that Universal Orlando, one of our favorite places. I think with all that's going on there, they have beautiful hotels, beautiful city walk, fun rides, that they are taking extra measures and trying to do that. So they have packages still available for fall, and I think some people are ready to travel, some people might not be. So they've opened up packages even, I think, into early next year. I haven't
late next year. You can
so
you can book into late 2021 now.
So, you know, you can plan for next year. It's good to plan ahead because a lot of people are starting to plan ahead too. So
sure.
Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today.
Yes, thanks for having me. Super excited about Universal. This is the best time ever.
Good, good.